Today is Monday, January 19th, and today is Martin Luther King Jr., or MLK Day, which falls on the third Monday to celebrate the life and legacy of MLK Jr. And it's also National Imagination Day and National Popcorn Day. Welcome back to the Daily Rewind, a podcast where we rewind the time and take a look at what happened on this day in history. My name is Garrett. I'm your host. Let's get into it. On January 15th, 1929, Martin Luther King Jr., an American clergyman, activist, and civil rights movement leader, was born. From 1960 until his death, Martin Luther acted as a co-pastor of his family's church in Atlanta's Ebenezer Baptist. Martin Luther King Jr. grew up in segregated public schools in Georgia, graduated high school at just 15 years old. He went on to Morehouse College, following the path of his father and grandfather, before studying theology at Corser Seminary in Pennsylvania, where he stood out so much he was elected president of a mostly white senior class. After earning his divinity degree, King completed doctoral studies at Boston University, where he met and married Coretta Scott. Together they would raise 4 children. In 1954, King became pastor of Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. Just a year later, he was thrust into national leadership during the Montgomery bus boycott, the first major nonviolent civil rights protest in modern U.S. history. The boycott lasted 382 days and ended after the Supreme Court ruled bus segregation unconstitutional. During this time, King was arrested, threatened, and his home was bombed, but he emerged as a powerful new voice for civil rights. By 1957, King was elected president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, blending Christian principles with Gandhi's philosophy of nonviolent resistance. Over the next 11 years, he traveled more than 6 million miles, gave over 2,500 speeches, wrote multiple books, and led defining moments of the movement. From Birmingham and Selma to the 1963 March on Washington, where he delivered his iconic and very famous I Have a Dream speech, King Jr. speaks directly to the American consciences. He points out that 100 years after the end of slavery, Black Americans are still, in his words, not free. Segregation and discrimination remained widespread, and the promises of the Constitution have not been kept. King describes this injustice as a bad check, a guarantee for equality, and that the nation has failed to honor. At the same time, King is clear how change must happen. He calls for nonviolent resistance and moral discipline, warning that the struggle for justice cannot be driven by hatred. As he says, quote, "We must not allow for our creative protest to generate into physical violence," end quote. And he emphasizes that the movement's goal is reconciliation, not revenge. The speech reaches its most powerful moment when King shares his vision for the future. He dreams of an America where people are not judged, and where almost everyone worldwide can probably quote it, that not be judged by the color of their skin, but for the content of the character, where children of different races can live equals, and where freedom rings from every state. He closes by urging the nation to act together, turning this shared dream into a lived reality. He's also met with presidents, endured repeated arrested assaults, and became both a symbolic leader of Black America and an international figure of justice. At just 35 years old, King became the youngest person ever awarded the Nobel Peace Prize, donating the entire prize money to the civil rights movement. And on October 4th, 1968, while in Memphis to support striking sanitation workers, Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated, leaving behind a legacy that continues to shape struggles for equality around the world. And then on this date in 1952, also a milestone in sports when golf starts to desegregate. In 1952, PGA to allow Black golfers. On January 19, 1952, the Professional Golfers Association, the PGA, voted to allow Black golfers to compete in PGA-sponsored events. This marked a significant step in breaking racial barriers in professional golf, helping open the sport to players who had previously been excluded because of race. And then if we fast forward to 1966, when Indira Gandhi was sworn in as the first female Prime Minister of India, a powerful movement in the world of leadership. Following the death of Prime Minister Lal Shastri, Indira Gandhi became the leader of India's Congress Party and was sworn in as the Prime Minister on January 19th, 1966. She was India's first female head of government and would go on to become one of the most influential and controversial figures in the country's modern times. Indira Gandhi was one of the most powerful leaders in modern Indian history. As India's first woman prime minister, she strengthened the federal government, nationalized major industries, and led the country through the 1971 war with Pakistan, helping create Bangladesh and evaluating India's global standing. But her leadership was also deeply controversial. In 1975, after a court challenged her election, she declared a national emergency, suspended civil liberties, censored the press, and jailed political opponents. That period left a lasting scar on India's democracy. Her legacy is a contradiction, a leader who reshaped the nation and a reminder of how easily power can be abused. And to end on a light-hearted note, in 1993, the production of the first Toy Story begins. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace. Thank you for tuning in to the Daily Rewind. The Daily Rewind is produced by myself and History Talks with Garrett. Make sure to follow us on all social media platforms at the Daily Rewind Pod, and you subscribe to us wherever you're listening to this podcast so that you can get notified of future episodes. And if you are on a podcast platform that allows you to rate this podcast, please rate us. That way we can reach a greater audience. I will see y'all next time. You have a great day. Peace.